The story begins with Hansel, age 17, attempting to break the world record for a deadlift. As he lifts the weight, surprising everyone, his heart suddenly fails, causing him to lose consciousness. He slowly closes his eyes, wondering if he has blacked out again. However, Hansel gains several different skills as he hears a voice whispering in his ear that he has achieved the legendary status of a bodybuilder. Hansel slowly wakes up, shocked by what's going on. He wonders why the chickens are attacking him. Fed up, he decides to fight back, realizing that he can get protein from the chickens with the help of a system that tells him how much protein each chicken has. He pounces on them and devours them. Hansel looks down at himself and realizes that he has lost all his gym gains. He gazes at his reflection in the water and is shocked by how scrawny he appears. Just like us, man. We're readers, annoy. Hansel grabs a tree and pulls it out from the ground. He then starts benching it, hoping to gain more muscle. However, 3 months later, he realizes that he has not made any more progress, and the only source of protein he has is from the chickens around him. Suddenly, a shadow appears behind him, and as he turns around, he notices a giant rooster. Panic-stricken, Hansel starts running, worried that even one hit from the giant rooster might prove fatal. However, he can't help but admire the rooster's impressive chest muscles. Suddenly, a group of chickens blocks Hansel's path, smirking at him. Hansel manages to run through the group of chickens. His system informs him that the giant rooster contains 12,000 kilograms of protein, and consuming it will grant him a rare skill called Amazing Muscle Recovery. After learning about the skill, Hansel prepares to attack the rooster by jumping up on the tree and charging at it. Suddenly, Hansel receives a notification that detects the energy stored within his muscles, allowing him to alter his skeleton. His arm increases dramatically in size. He lunges at the rooster and punches it in the mouth, causing its head to pop. However, Hansel receives a warning that his muscle durability has worn out, causing him to fall to the ground. Nevertheless, he gains the amazing muscle recovery skill for defeating the rooster boss. Later that night, as Hansel eats the rooster, a few creatures are watching him from a distance. Before we continue, take a moment to answer the question of the day. Do you go to the gym and read manhwa? Comment down below for a chance to be shouted out. Now back to the recap. As they approach, they introduce themselves as ghouls and ask if he was the one who had defeated the boss. Hansel confirms it. They ask for a request, but unfortunately, he phases out and does not hear their request for a favor. Instead, he instructs them to do 10 sets of laps. The frustrated ghouls walk away, but Hansel offers them some meat. As one of the ghouls attempts to lift it, Hansel becomes worried that the ghoul might snap its back. Hansel volunteers to carry the meat back to the ghoul village, and as they arrive, the ghoul lord greets him. Hansel is taken aback by the lord's appearance, which consists of thin limbs and a lot of belly fat. The ghoul lord then demands that the ghouls who brought Hansel's meal appear before him. He grabs his bat and reveals that he had actually been the one who desired to defeat the giant rooster and control it. Annoyed his followers, he uses his skills to power up his bat and strikes at them. Hansel quickly blocks the attack and wonders why the ghoul lord is attacking weaker ghouls. The ghoul lord questions whether his skill has been activated or not, and then decides to activate it again. This skill allows him to multiply the weight of any object by 2 to 10 times its original weight. Hansel is impressed by this incredible ability. Suddenly, the ghoul lord attempts to strike Hansel with his bat, but in a surprising move, Hansel breaks the bat and lunges toward the ghoul lord with a tight grip on the ghoul lord's neck. Hansel demands to know what his big three are. The ghoul lord is confused by what Hansel means by the big three. Hansel clarifies that he is referring to the 3 fundamental exercises, but soon realizes that the ghoul lord has no idea what he is talking about. Hansel instructs the ghoul lord to lift the weight. However, the ghoul lord reminds him of the earlier agreement. If the ghoul lord beats Hansel in the big three, Hansel must become his subordinate. The ghoul lord then uses his special skill to lighten the weights and lift them effortlessly. As Hansel prepares to lift the weight, the ghoul lord tries to make it heavier using his skill. Nonetheless, Hansel manages to lift it and throws it into the air, surprising everyone by stating that he forgot to control his strength. All the ghouls bowed, acknowledging Hansel's incredible strength as their new leader. The ghoul lord revealed that Hansel could return to Earth. He explained how this world thrived on the concept of the strong consuming the weak. Taking Hansel to their training ground, he showed the shocking state of their training area. Dismayed, Hansel gathered the ghouls and announced a 3-month training regimen. "We'll become warriors," he declared. Their first task, 100 push-ups. After 3 exhausting hours, Hansel pushed them further. "It's your mentality that makes you weak," he encouraged, stirring newfound determination. Energized, the ghouls resumed their workout. Hansel's training skills improved, guiding them tirelessly. 3 months later, lizardmen approached their village. Hansel ordered positions, readying for battle. The ghouls transformed from weak creatures to powerful warriors. catching the lizard men off guard. Seeing the ghoul lord, the lizard men hoped to defeat him and end the fight. Addressing Hansel, the ghoul lord sought guidance. Hansel remembered his youth, taming an iguana by showing strength. He used this lesson, overpowering a lizard man and intimidating the rest. In another place called Wurdodachi, a lord commanded a trio to find the missing rooster boss defeated by Hansel. The group, led by Liper and Hennard, faced a goblin ambush. Despite obstacles, they protected their companion Blog. Back at the ghoul village, Hansel trained the lizard men. After training, the ghouls bid farewell, astonishing Hansel with their growth. They had evolved into skilled guddy builders. Some ghouls requested solo hunting, but Hansel saw through their plan. Their muscles grew from training. As Hansel and the guddy builders ventured into the forest, an injury occurred. Meanwhile, the trio faced goblins. Blog, wanting to contribute, tried to fight. Hennard joined, but lizard men ambushed them. Chickens chased by Hansel and the goody builders caused chaos. They had underestimated the chickens' power. Hansel taught the goody builders about the importance of training chest and used resistance bands tied to trees to teach them. Hansel advised against provoking the chickens further. He reminded the guddy builders of their walking lunges, emphasizing consistent training. One of the guddy builders realizes that the source of their strength is from their legs, and Hansel agrees as he gets into position. He pounces at the chicken, but the chicken tosses the guddy builder into the air. Hansel forgot to mention that their legs would be tired. The chickens start taunting them and stare at Hansel before rushing towards him. Hansel gets into position when the chicken suddenly has a flashback of its life from hatching from an egg to meeting its death at the hands of Hansel following their defeat. Hansel and the goody builders cooked the chickens they had obtained. Hansel congratulated them on their growth as they did a toast to the next day. Hansel reminds the goody builders that they are far from surpassing him. He tells them to hunt carefully and that he will join them after he finishes his workout, as that is more important than a battle. As the guddy builder joyfully start hunting, the human trio arrives. The cockatrice skeleton shocks them with its size. Log wonders who could have killed it in a single hit. The other two tell Blonde not to worry as they will protect him. Suddenly the trio hears noises beyond the bushes, and a bunch of goody builders appear, attacking them. The goody builder notices the humans and stops, stating that humans are brutal and like to slaughter others. The goody builder calls for the other goody builder teams to arrive, signaling them with their chest. However, this also triggers the cockatrice's evolution. As they are about to strike the goody builders, they think they are doomed. Suddenly, Team 1 and Team 2 goody builders arrive. They begin using their secret technique learned from Hansel. They get into form and use their chest muscles to push the cockatrice away with such force that they cough blood. A bunch of goody builders are about to attack one of the goody builders as he prepares to say his goodbyes, thanking his clan. The human trio protects him and strikes the cockatrice, but they end up triggering the cockatrice's panic. Everyone is taken aback by the dragon-sized cockatrice that stands before them. Although it is not too different from what they had expected, the very first dragon that existed had been so consumed by its reputation that it feared its successors would not live up to its repute. Therefore, it decided to distribute its power, birthing a new species called the cockatrice, which closely resembled dragons. While the two humans are determined to impress Blog by attacking and defeating the huge monster in front of them, Hansel is completely unaware of their plan as he works out. He is deep in thought about how his muscle volume has been increasing much slower than the goody builders, even though they exercise at the same rate. Despite this, he is still happy that they listen to him, considering they are still beginners. Hansel reflects on the past 3 months, recalling how he struggled to motivate the weak goody builders who were once only crybabies and lacked the drive to live. It was challenging to encourage them to keep working hard, even though they initially failed the exercises. Nevertheless, the goody builders persevered, and eventually he started building muscle mass, making Hansel feel satisfied and proud of their progress. Thinking of his master, Hansel begins to miss him, and it occurs to him that his master disappeared around his current age. However, before he could dwell on it further, a goody builder frantically approaches him and informs him about the evolving in a cockatrice, which is posing a danger to everyone. The goody builder starts to worry a lot about his fellow builders who are getting hurt. Hansel suddenly steps in and asks which way the chaos is happening. He changes his own body to be stronger and faster and shoots off in that direction. Hennard and Liper are still battling the cockatrices. They're having a hard time, but Hennard gets an idea. He throws dirt in the air to make a distraction and tells Blog to run away. Blog gets mad because Hennard's plan put Liper in danger. The cockatrice throws Liper away, but Liper gives Hennard a thumbs up as he falls, which is funny. Blog talks about how weird everything is, especially Lipa giving a thumbs up. Hennard looks at Blogg with a confused face and tells Lipa that Blogg cares about them too, like it's a silly thing. Hennard rushes over to Blogg, who's still holding on to the Guddy Builder like it's attacking. He tells Blogg that they have to run away to be safe, but Blogg doesn't want to run away. They want to stand and fight. The cockatrices are coming, and Blogg's ready to face them. The Guddy Builders try to defend themselves, but they're easily knocked down by the cockatrices. They're hurt and tired, and the cockatrices are closing in. It looks really bad. Just when things seem hopeless, a bright light appears and blows the cockatrices away. Everyone's so relieved, thinking Hansel has come to save them. But when the smoke clears, it's not Hansel. It's their former leader, Lord Nym. Everyone's shocked to see him. What will happen next? Find out next time by staying tuned for our future recaps. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more great recaps.